with all of you, and I'm looking forward to this. My first question is to Dr. Mickey Mehta, but before I ask him, I would want to ask everyone in the audience a question. How many of you have said the following sentences or have heard someone around you say the following sentences? यार अब तो मेरी उम्र नहीं रही, मैं ये नहीं कर सकती. Many times, right? काश मैं वापस 20 साल की हो सकती. We all hear people say these sentences in our day-to-day lives. Now, as you can see, that majority of the people can relate to this, and I want to ask you, how closely are age and fitness related, and how much of an impact does age have on fitness? Because people are starting to use age as an excuse to their laziness, to not do certain things that they could be able to do. But I don't think so. So what are your views on this?
Well, we never grow old, but when we stop growing, we become old. So don't stop growing. I don't mean like this. Stop growing like this and start evolving in your mind. Your thought, word, deed, attitude determines the balance of your weight. There is a condition in biology called homeostasis, which of course doctor will endorse. And homeostasis brings about equanimity, equilibrium, and that balances your BMR versus your lethargy, and your weight just falls in place. The more you chase it, the more it will run away from you. So don't chase weight loss. Focus on health, healing and wholeness, and weight loss will come and knock at your door. Become a magnetic field to attract all the goodness of health, healing and wholeness, which is, eat right, sleep right, breathe right, laugh right, rest right, observe silence, forget the word meditation, know yourself, and the rest will fall in place. अपने आप होना, अपने आप में स्थित होना, अपने आप में स्वतंत्र होना, स्वतंत्र का स्वामी होना, अंतर्यामी होना, ऊर्ध्वगामी होना.
That's wonderful. My next question is to Dr. Meghna Singh. What role does stress, emotional eating and sleep play in sabotaging or supporting weight loss?
Well, I think all these three things, be it stress, sleep or emotional eating, I think we're all guilty of it, and we actually don't know how it sort of affects our body. When we get stressed or things that bother us, the easiest way is to give into something called guilt pleasure, and that is overeating. Day to day, if we are having a bad day, we'll probably indulge in chocolates, we'll indulge in some chaat, we'll indulge in something, but this becomes our habit. And this actually starts releasing something called as hunger hormone. So every time you are going through something, that hunger hormone kicks in and you go into stress eating. Now talking about sleep, which is the most underrated thing, underspoken thing in weight loss, you could be doing everything possibly right, but if you're not sleeping properly and sleeping at time and waking up at time, most of my patients say, yeah, I'm sleeping for 7 hours, but at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. No, that's not the way. You have to sleep on time, get proper sleep. It starts reducing a lot of hormones. When you don't sleep well, cortisol, which is actually known as a stress hormone, comes out in your body. It makes your abdomen gain weight, your face look puffy, and your thing was stress. And I feel we're all guilty of having a stressful life, overthinking, we're all guilty of it. छोटे-छोटे चीज़ें जो हमें actually नहीं इतना सोचना चाहिए, हम एक vicious cycle of thinking में चले जाते हैं, and that sort of brings us down. And all these three parameters, which are not spoken much about, actually causes weight gain.
Thank you so much. Shaina ji, I just want to ask you one thing. How do you do what you do? Juggling, social work, a fashion label, politics. You truly are a superwoman. So what is your secret?
First, let me start by saying, Seemaji, we've all heard of the Kohinoor diamond, and every woman wants to have a Kohinoor diamond. You're really blessed you have two of them in Meghna and Shrey, and I'm not just saying it. I think I'm a bigger fan of Meghna and Shrey than I am of you. So in that sense, half the battle is won there itself. And for all the mothers like myself who always stress about our children, are they eating on time? Have they gone out on time? Are they drinking? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? First thing is to get rid of all of that. But yes, you did say how I juggle multiple roles. So I started when I was very young. I started when I was 18, and then everything was just an add-on, add-on, add-on. Let me please tell you, with my own experience, that I have burnt out young. I hit menopause at 44, I'm 53. Sometimes I share with Dr. Meki that I want to look as young as your Parsi genes are, but it doesn't happen. I am a total foodie, die-hard foodie, so I'm an emotional eater. I'm looking at this badam here and I'm thinking, is the badam better for me or the kaju? I'll probably have the badam later. And I'm one of those that in politics, all of you all know, and I'm sharing with the women here, the highs are so high, the lows are so low. And if you're not an alcoholic and if you don't have other addictions, sometimes, Meghna, it becomes a food addiction. And I am a food addict. That is the first thing I have to say. So once you realize, Shrey, that these are your problems, then you will start working towards it. But at the same time, I've got a great metabolism, so it burns out in certain ways. But the thing that has really helped me is yoga. So even if I wake up late or wake up early, if I can pack in even 20 to 50 Surya Namaskars, nothing works better than that. And that is the answer. I always share with Mickey because we do this program yoga, by the way. सीमा जी आपको बहुत बार invite किया है, लेकिन आप अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस पे नहीं आते हैं. Anyway, next time we'll get you there. For 11 years we've been doing this on Marine Drive because we realized that when women come out into the open air, automatically it's a de-stressor. And when you do yoga on a promenade or in a garden and just breathe in and out, it's a great stress buster. But having said that, this is the honest truth that I am struggling with sleep because we have no sleep pattern. And for that, some people say Jaifal le lo raat ko, some people say take Ayurvedic, Manas Mitram, some people say take melatonin, some people say take haldi and doodh. I don't know what works for whom, but I think eventually in the journey of life, every woman realizes that this is what works for her and this is what doesn't. So listen to your heart. And one more thing I want to say, Seema ji, because you've 30-day challenge. First, to get so many women together is a challenge in itself. Then to have those women ask their concerns and for Meghna to reply it means a Padma Shri. And for each one to encourage each other, I think that's Padma Vibhushan. So let's get rid of this crab mentality where we want to say, oh, she's looking like this and she's looking like that and she's like this and she's like that and she did this. Just encourage each other. And when you see someone looking wow, appreciate the woman, because what do we want? My husband always jokes with me. He says, you ladies, you dress only for each other. You don't dress for anyone else. You want the other lady to say how good or how slim you're looking or how nice you're looking or how you are and how you shape and what are your tricks. So that's the honest reality. But having said that, I think if we just start with a certain, I've started this in the morning, Meghna, and that helps me. I just wake up in the morning, I remember my parents and a little prayer of gratitude for everything that we have, and to sometimes say, God, just forgive us for all the wrongdoings.
Shaina didn't say that at least twice a year she goes on cycling trails, and 4 to 5 times a year she goes to Goa in a house and does a long Panchakarma detox program, and each time the balance tips to the other end, she makes sure she brings it back. So that kind of determination and commitment is very important.
Lovely. My next question is to you. If our bodies could talk to us, not through symptoms but words, what do you think is one thing that most people would hear most often? What is one thing our body constantly keeps trying to tell us but we keep on ignoring it?
जी एक वर्ड नहीं मगर एक लाइन, कहाँ तेरी ये नजर है मेरी जहाँ मुझे खबर है। अपने आप को छोड़ के हमारी नजर हर कोई और पे होती है, और जब दूसरा जन्म लेता है तो तनाव भी जन्म लेता है. As Buddha says that the highest suffering and the most intense suffering comes out of the understanding and feeling of being separate from the other. तो कोई और है ही नहीं, सब कुछ हम ही हैं और हम सब जुड़े हुए हैं. So the body should tell us कि एक दूसरे से करते हैं प्यार हम, एक दूसरे के लिए बेकरार हम, एक दूसरे के वास्ते मरना पड़े तो है तैयार हम. तो एक दूसरे के लिए अगर जीते हैं, जैसे कि हमारी मैडम जी ने किया है, तो हम सब साथ में जिएंगे. तो जन्नत और जहन्नुम के दो सीन थे. जहन्नुम का सीन था कि बड़े बड़े सोने के चम्मच थे और हम खाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, खाना नहीं खा पा रहे थे. और जन्नत का सीन था कि वही चम्मच से हम दूसरे को खिलाते थे.
Okay, my next question goes to my sister. So, many women experience unexplained weight gain during premenopause and menopause, despite maintaining the same lifestyle. What are the physiological changes driving this, and how should nutrition, exercise, and mindset be adapted during this stage of life?
I think before I come to the physiological, biological and all these scientific fundas of menopause, basic thing of menopause is what each woman is going through, only she knows what she's going through. No other woman, no, even her husband, her children will not understand, and often during this time, the woman feels alone. Women, right from the time they hit puberty, pregnancy, menopause, constantly through the years their body is subjected to different changes. With each passing decade, they have to sort of go through different changes. So, very important is to be gentle and kind to yourself. You are also experiencing menopause for the very first time. The kind of frustration you have, and you sort of need that support, that sort of help from your family. It's okay if they don't understand till the time you are kind and gentle with yourself. Don't go hard on yourself. I think that's the most important thing. Why menopause happens, if I speak physiologically, so the hormones in a woman's body, estrogen and progesterone, with age starts declining down. Once that starts declining, it affects your bones, it affects your muscles, it starts causing weight gain. So these are the changes that happen. Your skin becomes dry, you start experiencing hair fall. So it's not one thing, you're experiencing a buffet of symptoms and you're struggling to find solutions to each. I really emphasize on vitamins, sleep and strength training. Because your bones are becoming weak, you have to incorporate vitamin D, calcium, omega to strengthen it. The good hormones are decreasing, so your heart is more susceptible. These hormones are cardioprotective, they protect you. That's why women don't get heart attacks as early as compared to men. So you have to have omega-3, you have to have vitamin D, you have to have calcium. Your diet should have good amount of protein, fibers and low amount of carbs. Strength training, why? Because how strong your bones were, how strong your muscles were, now it is not that strong. So strength training is essential, sleeping is essential, and the most important is being kind to yourself, being gentle, because each woman is going through it for the very, very first time.
That was very insightful, thank you. Shaina ji, if you could go back and give your younger self, the Shaina ji that was just starting out in the public life, just one piece of advice about mental peace, self-worth or wellness, what would that advice be? And what do you think that she would be most surprised to learn about the women you've become today?
I just wish I had more spirituality in my life, which has come much later. Maybe that's also generational, but it could be different in my case. I had a Bora mother, I had a Rajput father, I'm married to a Marwari Jain. So sometimes, you get lost in translation also. And I was raised by a Catholic nanny. I've noticed in lots of families where you have religious activity in terms of spiritualism, where you know the importance of prayer. I wish I had that earlier in life. That would have really helped me, because that would have calmed me down. I think the power of prayer and the power of meditation is unreal, and I missed out on it completely. I didn't even have that kind of exposure. Like sometimes I'm amazed at Mickey, him being a Parsi, he's going on with Sanskrit shloks, and he'd probably say one or two after. And that gives you so much power, and you get so charged at another level. So I wish I had learned meditation at a younger age. And what kept me going? Sports, lots of badminton, swimming, yoga, all of that. And as I said, I am a die-hard foodie. You can give me whatever diet you want, Meghna. Last night I had my bar of chocolate from London, dairy, milk, fruit and nut, relished every minute. And at the end, I finished off all of it. And I have no qualms in saying what works for you, what doesn't, doesn't. I know everyone says, oh, sugar is poison, sugar is bad. My mother-in-law says something in Marwari which always sticks in my mind. She says, "Achhe man se khao to sab kuch pachta hai."
Lovely. Okay, my last question to Dr. Mickey Mehta. In today's world where self-care has become performative with social media detoxes, 10-step routines, meditation apps, how do you return to wellness that's real and not just for the aesthetics?
A little more on what Shaina said. मीठे लोग ही मीठा पसंद करते हैं. मुझे भी मीठा बहुत पसंद है. मुझे मिठाई बहुत पसंद है. Number two, answer to his question, that death and disease shouldn't be human destiny. We are not born to die to diseases. We are born to simply breathe the last and exit this world with a smile on the face very consciously, and choose to become the colors on a butterfly's wings, or sweetness of fruits, or fragrance of flowers, or simply disappear and become a drashta and see the eternal dance of creation and destruction, but certainly not die to disease. Death has no right on life. Death is the culmination of diseases, and the diseases are the culmination of your choices. Change your choice to rejoice. So that's funda number one. Number two, you can choose to lead a disease-free life forever. Because if you are sound, slow, and not in speed and hurry, ati और गति आपका सत्यानाश करेगी. So ठहर जाओ, एक ठहराव में आ जाओ, केवल हो जाओ, परिधि से हटकर बिल्कुल अपने आप को बीच में शून्य में पाओ. एक बार शून्य हो जाएगा सब कुछ, तो तनाव भी विसर्जित हो जाएगा और तनाव के साथ हमारी पीड़ाएं, बीमारियां सारी विसर्जित हो जाएगी. So let your breath be your medicine, let your movement be your medicine, let your rest be your medicine, let your silence be your medicine. If people ask me what do you eat for breakfast, I say I eat breath for breakfast, I soak myself in the sun, and I take air bath. So this is why I'm so thin. I'll be entering my 64th birthday on August 29th, and I like to enjoy my hour and a half or two of doing monkey business, which means I'm learning gymnastics now, trying to jump around, and let's see how long this goes on.
Lovely. Now, my next question to Shaina ji. This entire 30-day challenge has been about, physical fitness, physical well-being. But I think that it is wrong to address physical fitness without addressing mental health and mental peace. So,
Completely agree.
yes, what are few steps that you take in your life to make sure that your mental health is intact while obviously balancing the physical aspect of it as well?
So I want to ask the ladies here and be honest. How many of you all have gone through any kind of depression? No?
Okay, let me be honest.
So how do you overcome depression? I think the answer for me is do what you like to do. And not for others, not to show to the whole world, oh, I went to the south of France and see how happy I am. That's not fighting depression. So I went through a political journey of mine where I was to fight a Lok Sabha election 2014. I didn't fight, and that seat we won, and I went through a depression of sorts. Like I couldn't cope only, I didn't understand what has hit me. So everyone has their own journey, but nobody wants to talk about it. My husband took me on this cycling trip. I can't tell you how beautiful it was, and it was such a positive way to fight depression. Rather than saying, oh, go to a therapist, talk to someone, do this, do that, speak to a friend. Your friend's probably happy that you're depressed. It could be anything. I'm trying to say that everyone has different stories in life. So when I was low, my husband took me on this cycling trip, and I remember it was from Austria to Italy. It was the most beautiful, open air, enjoying nature and fighting depression. If somebody else, a really close friend of mine, Deepika Padukone, she went through a bad time, she fought back. There are lots of other friends of mine from the industry, from politics, from other spaces too. Different people have different ways. Somebody wants to have a big party, invite people, that's their prerogative. I'm not sitting on judgment of that. But it could be somebody who wants to go for Vipassana and fight it. Am I right, Mickey? Different people fight it differently. So this was one experience that I wanted to share with. That it really worked for me.
तो शायना जी का कहने का मतलब है अपने आप में रस और रुचि is better than LV and Gucci.
Alright, one more thing that I would like to touch upon is that everyone today, people compare themselves to people, and they do it too much. They do things not for themselves but to show to others that they're doing this. How do you get rid of this cycle of constantly proving yourself to others, and how do you attain that stage where you're self-fulfilled?
I'll just say in one line, the answer to that is not to focus and be in this crab mentality, either pulling or pushing. Just make sure you keep going upwards. And moment you go upwards, everything else ceases to exist.
That's true. I think the moment you shift the dynamic of focus on yourself, you lose the focus on others only. जब आप फोटो खींचते हो और सेल्फी लेते हो, you focus on anyone else, no, because your focus is you. So it's same way in life. When focus is on you, your focus on others just moves out of the picture. So your view?
Well, I'd like to say कि आसमान कितना बड़ा है, असीम है. आकाश में कितने तारे चमक सकते हैं. अगर आप में क्षमता है तो आप भी चमकिए. लाखों करोड़ों अरबों तारे चमक सकते हैं और आसमान की गोद में हम सब समा सकते हैं. तो आप भी चमकिए. आप में कितनी क्षमता है?
Lastly, what is one final thing that you guys would like to say to everyone that's here and everyone else that's watching?
For me, health is wealth. Nothing comes if you have no health. You've seen people with bank balances that are so astronomical and still they have no health. What's the point? And eventually, when you go, you go. So might as well enjoy yourselves being healthy, happy, and in a positive space.
Well, I'd like to say कि स्वास्थ्य की एक परिभाषा है स्वयं में आस्था। अगर आपको आस्था ही नहीं होगी तो आप स्वस्थ बनोगे ही नहीं, और अगर स्वयं में आस्था रहेगी तो अपने आप को कभी कम नहीं पाओगे और आप देना सीखोगे। और जो लोग देते हैं उनको हार्ट अटैक कभी नहीं होता है। जो रोक के रखते हैं, कवच वो करते हैं, उनको कैंसर होता है। हाँ, जो रोक के रखते हैं कवच होता है, और वो कवच से कैंसर भी होता है। और जो देना सीखते हैं उनको सुकून की नींद आती है।
I said this earlier, and this one's for Seema. My father used to always tell me there are givers and takers in life. The givers sleep well, the takers eat well. So the choice is yours.
Thank you so much to everyone here on the panel, and thank you for sharing such wonderful insights that you guys had. It was truly a pleasure of mine to, interview you guys. So thank you.